I of the above name and address, a law-abiding citizen and a musician, bring to your notice to the assault and threat to my life by the above mentioned persons. On the 25th June 2023, while having the video shoot with another artist by name Slantan Ibile, the above mentioned persons, numbering about 15, led by Samilari Elegushi, invaded the premises with dangerous arms such as guns, cutlasses, etc. Where I was shooting video, and scattered the whole process of the shooting, damaged the equipment I was used to the shooting for the shooting, valued about 5 million naira, and started threatening my life, which is in process. They became violent and assaulted me, which I sustained injuries but narrowly escaped. Attached to this petition is the said pictures. Total amount I paid for the shooting they have destroyed is 18 million naira, which is non-refundable. However, this is where I want you to pay attention to. However, during the assault, they were boasting that they work for Obelegushi. I will repeat again. However, during the assault, they were boasting that they work for Obelegushi and that they have been asked to deal with me for reasons best known to them, which till date they are still threatening to pie me if seen. Sir, I will call on your good office to save my life from the above mentioned persons and bring them to book. Thank you for your timely intervention. Yours faithful, Aloba Promise Oladimeji. This petition was written on the 27th June 2023. 3 months later, that is when Mohbad died. All right. So in November to December last year, I remember we were treating this petition on Yekudi's program. Yekudi's platform. And I remember that, Yekudi was really mad after reading this petition and was calling out the name of the Obelegushi. And he told you, Obelegushi, if you know that you don't know anything about this, you need to respond. You need to respond. And I guess the wife of Elegushi somebody spotted the wife of Elegushi because Yekudi used to say that the wife of Elegushi used to watch a program. But that very day, they were able to spot the Royal Palace nation, and she addressed the palace. And 2 or 3 days later, is it 2 or 4 days later, Obelegushi came out with a disclaimer. Disclaimer is here with me. I don't know I can't remember if it was on September or whatever, or November last year. Now, but before that, what I want to let people, because I noticed that a lot of people have coming out, they've come out again to start talking about Obelegushi and all that. On this, the second to the last paragraph of Mohbad, he stated that those people that came to bully him, Samilari and the others, Olili, Obili, they came to Mohbad, they were boasting to be working for Elegushi. They were boasting to Mohbad that they were working for Obelegushi. All right. So on the 14th of September 2023, Obelegushi issued a disclaimer to this petition or this allegation. I repeat, on the 14th of September 2023, Obelegushi will issue a disclaimer. All right, which I'm going to read here. Elegush's royal family on his 14th September 2023 press statement. The Elegushi royal family of Etiosa wishes to put on record this misinformation on the media space involving Samson Erinfunlami Balogun, aka Samilari. Samson Balogun is not a member of the royal family and does not work for the royal family or king in any capacity. Like other celebrities, politicians, religious, and community leaders, he visited the palace to pay homage to the king and seek royal blessings, just like other members of the public. While extending our condolences to the family and friends of late Ilirioluwa Aloba, aka Mohbad, we would like to add our voice to the calls for a thorough investigation into circumstances surrounding his spy with a view to unravel any foul play. We ask our friends in the media to be mindful of the sensitivity of this issue and desist from spreading falsehood. We ask our friends in the media to be mindful of the sensitivity of the issue and desist from spreading falsehood that may jeopardize this investigation. Thank you. Obelegushi signed. So, like I said, on the 14th September 2023, the palace issued a disclaimer on Samilari that they do not know Samilari. All right. That's one, the palace.
Answer that question, though. Maybe you didn't.
No, you did. You answered the disclaimer part.
Yes.
But what would you do legally?
Yes, and I said I may choose to go down the legal route of taking it up with Sam Larry. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that part because I
Yes, I
did.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And I said in the same way I did.
Now, let me tell you what. Let me tell you. There's a reason I chose you to ask these questions.
Yes.
Because when you came up, I sensed you were either on one side. I like to be on the side of the truth, and my truth may be wrong. You used just now. You said I may choose. I may choose. May
Yes.
is.
You said what would I have done? And I said
yeah. What would you have done? Yes. I would have done this. Not I may choose to. You see, I won't be letting meji sheremo. Mohbad said it. He said Okmoti finally. Okmoti finally. I be letting meji sheremo. A goat is a goat.
Sorry about that. A call came in.
A dog is a dog. A goat may not be a dog, and a cow may not be a chicken. May. May is an indecisive language. What would you do? Tony, you are the king of TikTok, and you have been accused of killing Paparano or sending people to kill Paparano.
I will take it up legally. So it's as simple as straightforward than that, right?
I will take it up legally. And what are the legal options? What are the legal options that you have?
Yeah, I'll write a petition against Sam Larry, right?
Did the king write a petition against Sam Larry?
Anybody
knows?
As far as I'm aware, I don't believe he did.
Okay, very good. Has the police charged Sam Larry? Anybody knows?
No, as far as I'm aware, no.
Thank you. You represent majority of the people on this black app listening to us and all over the world. Why has the police not charged Sam Larry? Why has the king not petitioned somebody who used his name to commit a crime? An obvious crime that we saw on video. Why? These are the questions.
I was told that the day he petitioned Baba Mohbad, he also petitioned Samilari. But I am not privy to the I'm not privy to the information in the petition. All right, that was the reason why Samilari came there, because he was I'm not privy to the information in the petition, and the police in the petition, and the police detained Sam Larry, but I know that they were sure that they probably they detained Baba because. All right, let me pause right there. Let me try to buttress this part that I was explaining right there. So, the legal team, the lawyer that came on board that very day was not aware if the Oba or the palace petitioned Samilari. Now, I hope you guys, if you can, let me try to Black Velvet, where have you been? Because of you, that's why we're doing this. You came late again, bro. But welcome on board. You can come up here, Velvet. If you remember the day last year when Baba Mohbad was on the platform, and then I guess while he was on that platform, he made some utterances which made the Oba to petition him, and then he was asked to come to Panti or Zone 2. I beg your pardon, I can't remember it was Panti or Zone 2. Is it Zone 2 or Panti? Any of the two. He was asked to come in there. So on that very day, we found out that we were told that Samilari also came. He was invited. So I guess the Oba petitioned Samilari and also petitioned Baba Mohbad. All right. And but I am not privy to the information in the petition of Samilari. But I was told that Samilari was there. Oba was not there physically, but he sent his chieftains. His chiefs came there, and that was when they were bragging to Baba Mohbad, telling him that you strangers, you came from afar, and you came to Lagos. We will show you. We're going to send one plot of our land for 500 million. We don't mind. We can use the whole 500 million to do case for you. Blah 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 blah. We're going to make sure you rot in jail. They were just blabbing. They were intimidating him that very day. So that day, Baba was actually freed. He was bailed. That's the truth. Baba was bailed because he came up with someone. I guess the man was into car business. So when the man got there and he saw the way the chief were doing and the way they were talking, he got scared and he was like, you know what? I cannot stand as a shorty for Baba anymore. So he declined and he left. So Baba was stranded there because if he cannot get himself bailed, he will have to stay in the detention. And then the only person that could come through was like, okay, who's going to stand for Baba Mohbad? And then I guess maybe Goresi was available. He was asked to go bring his international passport and other credentials and all stuff like that. That was why Baba Mohbad got bailed that very day. So to buttress that again, after getting bailed, they told him to be reporting to the post station every Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or every Thursday? The shah told him to be reporting once in a week, one time a week or one time a month. I can't remember. The shah told him he should be reporting every Tuesday or every Wednesday. So it got to a point after like a 3 month or whatever. He was like, "Come, this is going to be so stressful for this man." And we said, "Okay, you know what? Let a lawyer to be represented by, let him go there and be signing on behalf of Aloba himself." But what I know is that I'm not sure if it has stopped or maybe they are still going. I don't know if the new lawyer, the son, is the one signing for him or they have put it to an end. I am not sure of that anymore. So that is what happened. So in this regard, Samilari was petitioned, Baba was petitioned, but we did not know what they discussed with Samilari. We never know if they also bailed Samilari or he was also charged bail. He was bailed. We do not know. But my own concern is that I am not happy with the Oba or with the palace, because as a palace, you're being accused of this kind of accusation. You should have used his office, his position, to make sure that the Lagos State Police investigate into this matter. All right? And whatever petition that he wrote against Samilari, he should have make it clear and put it on the newspaper and let the whole newspaper know what will actually happen. But right now, the whole world, the public are not really privy to this information of what went down at the station. We do not know if what condition they gave to Sam Larry. We do not know what happened when went down at the station at all. So all this thing is kept secret away from the public. So that is why I keep saying that something's still fishing that the palace is hiding. Because if there's not nothing fishing, he will not be doing what he's doing right now. Because if Sam Larry lied and used your name to commit evil, you should expose him. You should expose me. He should expose him. So that is it on that way. So let me continue to play this record. Bailed that very day. So I'm not sure if Sam Larry too was bailed. I'm not sure about that.
Okay. So what you're saying, Bossman, is, as far as you're aware, the king actually did exactly what African TV expected of him, but you don't know what happened afterwards. And Sam Larry went as far as, honoring the invite for the petition.
Sorry about that. A call came in.
And beyond that, you don't know what happened subsequently.
Yes,
is that what you're saying?
Because, yes, Baba was invited, Sam Larry too was invited. So he petitioned Baba, Mohbad, and Sam Larry.
Right, okay. So Bossman,
if I were to be in the position of the Oba, you will make it public. Because the public are holding you liable on all. Yeah. Almost a year now that this whole thing, because it's almost a year now that this whole thing happened, and we do not even know what happened in Boston.
Bossman, out of interest, do you know what happened to the king's petition against Baba Mohbad as well?
Say it again.
Do you know what happened to the petition the Oba wrote against Baba Mohbad as well? Do you know what happened to that petition?
I don't know.
Well, there you go. So in the same way, we don't know what happened to the Oba's petition against Baba Mohbad.
I think there were two things. There two.
Sam Larry as well, right?
Hold on. I don't know. Okay, hold on. Something just crossed my mind now.
Okay.
On two occasions, I know that I don't know the content in the letter of Baba Mohbad as well, but I know that it was due to what Baba Mohbad said on the live that and all stuff like that. Okay, it was due to that. I guess you stop mentioning his name and all stuff like that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, but for Sam Larry, I'm not privy to that information. So I guess that was the reason why they wanted to lock Baba up, but he was bailed that very day.
So Baba Mohbad and Sam Larry, they're probably, in similar positions where Oba is petitions against them, but we, the public, don't know exactly what happened afterwards. I could hazard a guess. I could say, subsequently, and you guys might be my witness, subsequently, after that petition was written against both Baba Mohbad and to some extent Sam Larry, Baba Mohbad ceased and desisted from making those defamatory statements about Oba being the father of Liam.
But Mr. Tony,
yes.
What my greatest surprise is that what I don't understand is that what Baba said on that live, I have to go and play it again. Never mentioned the Oba's name. So the Oba has no rights to petition him on that. Except if they have another thing.
I think Baba Mohbad probably either said a bit more about that, right?
Say that again.
I think but
yes, I got.
Yeah, I think he said it.
On that very day, on that live, I guess Baba only said Ali Lopa Mohbad. Ali Lopa Mohbad. I don't think he mentioned his name. So, But some people said he mentioned, but I guess the full length of the video, I guess he mentioned his name. In the video, the interview that he granted on that live, he actually mentioned the name of the Oba. All right. But there's that particular video show was the same day that he mentioned Ali Lokman Mubad. All right. And I guess we need to go play the full video again and see what actually occurred that very day. That's why I keep saying that there's a lot of things that is really fishy. A lot of things are really fishy regarding to this Oba, because I do not know when Sam Larry will mention your name in the magnitude of stuff like this, and you want to keep shielding him. All right. The petition you wrote about him, where is it? You should have given it to the media and let them publish it out. What happened at the station? Let them get someone to write something about it. Let us know, because the Oba owes the public, it's a subject, an explanation. Okay, because your name is being mentioned in this case. So for you to get yourself cleared, you have to also return, talk back to the public and let them know. It needs to be transparent. We get into all these things. So that's why I keep saying that there's something fishy about all these things. A lot of things are really not going on well. We get into this matter.
More than that. But subsequently, it's fair to say that ever since that petition from the Oba was raised against Baba Mohbad, it never went down that route again. I know Bukky Jesse has continued to, but that's a separate matter in itself. And in the same went down that route again.
Anyway, you see, there's a lot of things that is really wrong here. A lot of things is really wrong that is kind of confusing. That the police is not helping out, the government is not helping things out.
Yeah, I mean, and this is not specific to the Mohbad case. That is just the way our police forces work, and that is the kind of government we have in Nigeria. Sadly speaking, not making excuses for them, but that is just the reality.
Yeah, I agree with you. That is
of where we live.
What do you have to say to that? Because this thing is really getting, I don't understand, but I think, as far as we are concerned as a citizen, Mohbad petition was not treated. They didn't treat it. They just left it like that. If Sam Larry claimed that he wrote a petition, what was the outcome of the petition? Oh, Mohbad did not show up. Did you guys enforce it to make sure that he showed up? Because if you write a counter,
you couldn't actually you couldn't. I said that's what. Okay. So African TV and maybe Yomi Fabi to an extent will tell you straight away, given the dynamics of what happens in this kind of scenarios. Once you write a petition against citizen A or B, it generally doesn't just stop at you just writing a petition, right? There are times where you have to follow up, where you have to pass financial inducement.
No, I did not follow up. Yes, we agreed on that. I know that he did not follow up on that.
Yes.
And right. That he did not, Mohbad did not follow up on that. I understand. Even the police said so that he didn't follow up on that.
Yes.
So if he did not follow up on that and they see a case of pride in it, it should be the responsibility of the police to look into it as well.
Oh yeah, which is why people are saying that Larry and to some extent.
In the petition, he wrote guns. Let me read out the petition to you one more time, so you will see what I'm talking about. So let me forward it because the petition is what I just read. Just pay attention to it. Not quite long ago. So, petition of threat to life.
Your question was, why hasn't the Oba been called in, blah, 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 blah.
Musician, bring to your notice the assault and treats. I'm trying to forward it because I just read the petition. Not quite long. But before asking you for...
Playing here. To be a king, You are a father to everybody. You need to be fair. Even if your own son, his name was in that petition, you'll tell the police come and pick him up, because the person who accused them ended up dying. And that's what African TV was saying earlier. This will leave a stain on that royal household. Because this case, the whole world, I'm not a Nigerian, but we can see what kind of game is being played here. And from the way you talk, I believe you somehow connected to those people. As an advice, we know the masses don't have the power to do anything to the king, but also the trust is being broken between them and the king. I hope the king is aware of this. The only way he can vindicate himself is by doing the right thing. Those other boys, because we only hear Sam Larry, but the other ones as well need to be brought to light. And he needs to help the police achieve the right thing, or tell them openly, please investigate this case. Because everybody's aware this guy did not die a natural death, whether it's the missus or those guys. That's all what I came to say. Thank you.
Okay, so there are two issues here. One is potential allegations of assault, right? Which is only allegations as it goes today.
There were videos to prove it. We saw the videos online.
No. There's no video where
were those videos made up? Were they AI?
Yeah, there's a video.
Wait. Can I just finish, right? No. Let me just say what I'm trying to say. I saw those videos as well, right? Let me say this again, right? There is no videos I've seen where Sam Larry actually used an object to assault Mohbad. I saw a video, right, that got cut off midway where Sam Larry was wielding an object. I never saw any where Sam Larry actually used that object on Mohbad anywhere. I stand to be corrected, right? But that is just by the way. What I'm saying as of today's date is eventually Mohbad pied, right? Bossman, I'm going to try and put you on the spot today, right? Given the passage of time, knowing what we know today, what we knew then, a lot of water has passed under the bridge, as they say. Mohbad has pied. A lot of things have come out again, right? Now, over and beyond the issue of assault, let's even assume that, yes, Sam Larry assaulted Mohbad based on the side of his petition. Do you, as an individual that is fair, do you have any evidence or even inclination that Sam Larry was or the Oba himself were in any way responsible for the pie of Mohbad? That's a straightforward question.
Yeah, can I try to answer that, sir? The question will be, that's why we're asking the police to investigate. Yeah, that's why we said police did not do good in this case. Let's say I live in the UK. If I write a petition or somebody write a petition against me, and that thing happened later, I will be the first person the police is going to knock at the door. And they will leave me alone until other leads start showing. That's how the laws goes. The laws is very straightforward and we all see it. And that's why I said, even in this petition, I say we are being unfair to Sam Larry. He's the only one being mentioned. What about the rest? What is their responsibility here in that petition? It's only Sam Larry and the king. What about the other 2 or 3 in the petition? What happened to them?
So to your point, the principal actors mentioned in that petition by Mohbad, apart from the henchmen that followed and Sam Larry, was the Oba's name. That's the principal actor. So if I were the police, actually, I would go for the principal actor, that was alleged in that petition, which is the Oba. And before you came on,
Sam is it was the hitman.
No,
is the
I'm
one.
talking about I'm talking about beyond. No, we're talking about
Let's say,
The Oba
if he
says
doesn't have the immunity,
I'm talking about the Oba. I'm talking about we're talking about people
Oba
that have.
have the immunity, unless if his immunity is removed. That's what I know. MP.
No, Oba has no immunity. No, Oba has no immunity in Nigerian law. No, he hasn't.
Oh, okay, then the police should have knocked it.
Several Obas have been jailed, have been arrested in the past few months in Nigeria, right? So Oba has no immunity against criminal activities. Yeah, there was an Oba in a state a few months ago. Yeah, that was assaulting somebody on camera. He was arrested and put in jail. So let's clear that up, right?
Okay,
So over and beyond that, I'm saying that the principal actor in that petition, beyond Sam Larry has been picked up, is the Oba, right?
The Oba,
So his name was mentioned because your question was, why hasn't the Oba been called in, blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying that the Oba's name was just mentioned in that petition, right? That it was the person that sent me. Bombard said it was the Oba, that sent these guys to come after him, right? The Oba has come up with a disclaimer that I don't know this guy from Adam, full stop. He's done that. Now, if the police were to pick up the Oba subsequently, in light of what we know today, Madam, there has to be a probable cause. There has to be a motive, right? Now, let me push that a step further. So people will say, why on earth would the Oba be going after Mohbad? They don't have any business on the face of it together. So why would they? That was when the rumors around, potentially paternity, Liam, X, Y, and Z, right? Now, if you TikTok
and many more people are afraid of Oba, that's why it's not about paternity and a white powder.
Well, I'm just letting you know, what we. Okay, yeah, and the white, yeah. Let's make the allegation even a bit wilder. Yes, white powder. Yes, let's even go that extent. But on the pages of social media is the issue of paternity. That was the main one that's been got right. Now,
it's the main one because people are afraid to speak about the white powder. You understand this? I understand this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't share those things. I'm just going to tell you what happened to those that was bold enough to push the paternity without much in terms of evidence, right? So those guys came out on this pages of social. On this panel, I try to be mindful of what I say without evidence, right? So I've mentioned two people consistently since we started this conversation an hour ago. The first one being Arifa, the second one being Westo, right? And a few others. So they came out boldly, right? And there was this other guy as well. I can't remember his name again. It will come to me, They're on, yeah, that's it. Thank you for the reminder. They're on. So those guys came out boldly, to make those allegations and say, right, okay. If Mohbad has mentioned this Oba's name as far back as many months before you, other allegations here and there, on the face of it, potentially has to do with the paternity of Liam. So they came out and said, Oba, it's not enough for you to say, I don't know Sam Larry from anywhere. There's this rumor flying around that you have something to do with the paternity of Liam. Oba, can you come out and refute those allegations? That went on for a while until these guys went a step further and said, Oba, will put it to you. You are the alleged baby father of Liam. That was when matters took a turn for the world. Now, one or two things here, fancy fire. If Oba had kept quiet, people would say, that means potentially you're the father because you're not taking any steps against even though he wrote a statement in the end that had nothing to do with the paternity of this baby, blah, 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 blah. But people like us will still challenge Oba in a year's time that, when they were saying you are the baby father, this guy looks like you, Liam looks like you, What legal steps did you take over and beyond writing a disclaimer? Hence the reason why the Oba went after these guys, right? These guys are currently, they spent considerable time in custody. These guys are now, in the legal process. They've been going to court every now and again to defend these allegations. As a matter of fact, two of these guys, Arifa and Viron, they've come out, not once, not twice, right, to recant those allegations. They've refuted, they've said, oh, they're sorry, there's no proof, blah, 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 blah. The Oba should forgive them. They understand you're still in the legal process going on. So to that extent, Fancy Fire, the question I'll put to you is, given what we know now, given what is going on at the present time, would you advise anybody to come out again and push any further narratives around, this white powder you talked about without any form of evidence? Would you do that? And I don't believe it is a police job to be going after this Oba when the people that came out on social media multiple times before now, with a reasonable degree of certainty that, oh, yeah, Oba, we have the proof, we know you're the father of Liam, come out and defend yourself, blah, 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 blah. And these same guys, have been shouting, say, Oba, forgive us, we never knew nothing about it. We're in court now, the court has told us to bring the proof that, you're the father of Liam, we don't have any proof, it was just allegations, bare parlor gossip. Right? Okay. Who would now come out to say, another potential motive for you buying mobile because of white powder? Nobody can do that. Nobody can say that, right?
It depends. Thank you for your question, sir. It depends. First of all, Justice for Mohbad. Mohbad is just the title. It's a movement, not only for the Nigerians. I'm not a Nigerian, but that thing starts because Nigeria is always the big brother. The other African countries will follow. It's a justice where we don't want demagogue to abuse the youth and intimidate them. You just gave now a classic example of Veron and Arifa coming out and changing their statements. If you observe carefully, and that's why I told you earlier, Oba need to be very careful to not stain his name, because the world we are in today, social media can make you or break you. As far as the masses are concerned, they think these guys are being intimidated. I don't know if he's aware of this. It came a point, as I talk about mistrust earlier, that now already there's a mistrust between the masses and him. And that's why I said earlier, he needs to but maybe stop the police investigation. However, we need to see him working because he has the power. In terms of people not coming up, I believe there are a few people who have evidence, but now people are scared. As I said earlier, there's intimidation. It came to the point now, even if you forward information to the police will go and sit on it and say the DPP has already charged 2 people. So if you sit, me and you, if we sit on the fence and we distance ourselves from this case, what our conclusion will come up with? Because the internet made the world now a small village. And after Mohbad, there is life. Where do Oba see the future? This is a question, because as I said earlier, a king is a father to everybody. Even if there's no concrete evidence today, he still needs to work and do something. I'm not saying for sure that until now there's no evidence, but there are people who claim to have the evidence, but they're afraid to come out. And typical example, I love that you mentioned Veron and Arifa. You can see the fear in their eyes. Thank you. That would be my question. That's how I will observe. I don't know about the rest, but that's how I look.
Mr. Tonia, You asked a question earlier on. And I have some answer. I have an answer for that. Okay. You asked if there was any evidence against Sam Larry bullying Mohbad. Yes, there is an evidence.
No. I didn't say that. No. I didn't say that. I do accept that there was evidence saying he bullied him. I said in the pie of Mohbad. That's what I said. That's the question I asked you.
Anyway, in the pie
I didn't say I didn't believe he was bullied. I actually accept he was bullied.
And Mr. Tony, I live in an area where it's full of Nigerian, to be specific, Yoruba. That's how I got involved in this case. Do you know people outside social media have more information?
He doesn't watch his kind of account, so
Go ahead.
On social media, it's just that people are afraid to talk on social media. But I'm surrounded by a lot of Yorubas, by the way, and they married my sister's daughter. So I am in this community, and trust me, people hear more information than what people let on social media. And that's why if you are connected to these people in anyhow, Oba really need to start cleaning his name. Not because of evidence. I know people come and say, where's evidence? No. As Oba is not a politician. You need to understand that. He's a king. As a royal, you have some duties. And as I said earlier, there's mistrust between the masses and him now. And you need to start working towards that. Thank you. And I appreciate you, Mr. Bossman, for giving me time. And Tony, stay blessed. I'm going to go down now.
Fancy Fire. It's been a long time. That was a very good, that's a nice one for you. That's a good one. Thanks for coming, Fancy. African, now, Mr. Tonya. I'm Tony, right, Mr. Tony?
Yeah.
You sound really eloquent and all that. I fancy that. And but I have some questions for you. I hope you're actually following the case of the coroner inquest. Are you following? Are you tagging along?
Yeah.
All right. So far so good. We got into the inquest generally. What is your take that could have led to the pie of Mohbad? During the last coroner inquest, the driver came up there, and if you go through the CTC, you hear that all the testimony of all these people, they're not really tallied at all. All right, and the police investigation. They said Mohbad bled profusely. In each and every one of these people's statements, according to the police too, in their investigation, they never come in anywhere that Mohbad had an altercation with his wife on their way. According to the police are not aware. The police is not aware that on their way back home there was an altercation. There's nowhere in the police statement that Mohbad and his wife had an altercation back in the house. All right. So what is your stand on this case? Do you think the wife have a hand in the pie of Mohbad?
My simple response to that is until all the 15 people in that house are brought forward and properly interrogated, we're not going to be any none the wiser. That is my straightforward answer to that. Until all the actors in that apartment are brought in and properly interrogated, we wouldn't be any the wiser what actually led to Mohbad's pie, full stop. Right? I don't believe the answer necessarily leads in I don't believe the answer is something Sam Larry or Naira Marley can answer. I think the answer to that puzzle would reside between all the 15 actors that were in that apartment on that Sunday night. think we're going to be any on the wiser in regards to actually applying mobile. That is my answer to that. Very, very straightforward and simple.
Yeah, Africa TV. You have one. I still have more questions, but let me take on Africa TV. Do you have any questions?
Okay.
One question. Africa TV, are you there?
I wouldn't just single out Wumi, right? I think that's a conspiracy. I wouldn't just point the fingers at the one person. I think it would be unfair to say, oh yeah, Wumi's responsible. No. Yeah, I'll be looking at all
15 people in the house, right?
Yeah.
People, yes.
Yeah, all of them.
So okay, what about, if I might also ask you that, do you think action that took Mobat's life?
So my answer to that is clear-cut, right? So it may be, it may not be. And I'll say this because I have a bit of a legal background. If I'm going to be pushing a narrative that the application of an injection willfully, with a bit of malice, led to mobile spy, I would have to retrace my steps a bit and say, okay, what is the motive, potential motive, right? Why somebody will apply a lethal injection to Pai Mohbad? I'm talking if it wasn't by accident here. And this is where it goes back to what actually happened in the run-up to that night and what are the testimonies of all the 15 people that were in that apartment at the time. Because don't forget, we're not just going to look at this in isolation and talk about the injection. We're going to talk about the rumors around, there was a fight, there was some broken railings, X, Y, and Z. So we have to look at this holistically to be able to get to the bottom of it. We're not going to be able to focus on or rule any single thing in or out. We have to look at the whole picture. And that will start from, the day running up to that night of the Sunday and beyond. And until we hold those 15 people, hold them in and properly question them, we're not going to be any none the wiser. Because if we do that, that means we're actually arriving at a conclusion without actually, properly investigating the roles of, all the people that were with that guy, in the run-up to his eventual demise.
All right. I still have more questions, maybe 2 or 3. But before asking you further questions, we have Mommy Jay in the house.
Good morning, bossman.
Yeah, good morning. How you doing?
Yeah, good morning, bossman. African TV, Ekarasa. According, and me wash up with sir. Ekarasa. I just have a few questions because I was listening to the other related to the hours now, and the list asked you if you were related or have any, relationship to any of these guys. Because the way you sound
No, I'm not.
back to back, and I feel like, just my own opinion, I feel like you're not fair enough. How you went defensive on the part of the king and the other counterpart, Sam Larry, because you have answers for every questions that were asked about this individual, and if you're not related to them in any way or the other, how come you have answers to every questions that were bothering every Nigerians, every African? And thank God, I think the lady that just dropped now, is it that she's from maybe Zimbabwe or something? I don't know, but I know she's from an African country. So That means other African countries aside from Nigeria are also concerned. So if ever asking these questions and someone like you who is not related to the royal family and Sam Larry, we're okay, sir, thank you. So we're all concerned. How come you have answers to all the questions that were asked? And also, I'm going to end my question right now. Also, do you have an evidence to back all these answers up? And when I mean evidence, I'm expecting an evidence from the Nigeria police to present. Do you have any evidence you can present to us right now, or tell us to go to Google that so evidence was released to the public on so date? Because to my best knowledge, and I think to most of the best knowledge of the people in the comment section and the host, we didn't see any evidence or any press release as regards most of your answers. So can you go ahead and answer my question, please? Thank you.
Okay, Bossman, you've been on this, you've been anchoring this live for a while now. As a witness, just to respond to what has just been said, can you please clarify, because I'm a bit lost here, where I've got answers in quote to every questions regarding the Oba or Sam Larry? I don't believe I have. As a matter of fact, I said a few times, I gave a bit of my background here, that I'm speaking purely from a legal perspective, evidential perspective. And I even went as far as saying, right, I play devil's advocate here and there.
Yes, you did.
I don't in any way, this is an intellectual discourse, I don't in any way hold forth for any of the principal actors here, right? I even went as far as saying, on the basis of the evidence available, yes, Sam Larry definitely has a case of bullying to respond to. At the end of that, and I'll pose a question to you, Bossman, and a few others, that as it stands today, is there evidence, on the face of it, to link Sam Larry to the pie of Mohbad? That was how I left it. So if somebody's come out here to say, I'm speaking on behalf of the Oba, I have answers to every question, I'm not sure if that is fair. So I wouldn't directly respond to that over and beyond just putting it to your boss mind that all I'm doing here today is having an intellectual discourse, and I've done a devil's advocate here and there, and it's been going, okay so far.
Yeah, it is actually true that you said you're playing the role of a
but just as a disclaimer, I'm not related to any of the principal actors here. If I'm speaking here today and people believe I am, I want to clear that off. It's probably because of my legal background. Full stop.
I would lie to you.
What can stand up in the court of law as opposed to what can go on the social media. Full stop. I just want to clear that.
Yeah, that's a very good one. Even before Mommy Jake step up, I was already having the reason why I was throwing you was basically I was trying to. I'm a psychologist. I was trying to know the last two questions I was asking you. That was the reason, because I was like, what's going on here? So I was trying to know where you are, if you are neutral or you are from the royal or whatever. That's why, of course, people are listening. We have about 90 people listening right now. So, and I guess some people are also streaming from other platforms. Some people also can recording as well. Some bloggers are here as well. That's going to take this into the other social media platforms and all that. So that was the reason why we just want to be sure of your stand. We don't know if it was from the other side or from the royal, and that is where. And I guess she just came out to speak the mind of the other people, the other listeners. I'm sorry if that was.
I don't hold any affiliation to either in any way, shape, or
Mr.
form.
Tony, there's
And I've said that I've gone as far as saying that, yes, when it comes to assault and bullying, persons to answer. I've said that much.
Mr. Tonya, there was never an allegation and there's no reason for any dispute. I never alleged you. I had to.
No. I'm just talking generally, full stop. Right, in case people, Bosman was just asking me that, people might have been wondering where I stand here and there. So I'm just making that clear. That's all.
Tonya, if there is no allegation, so there is no need for a disclaimer. If there is an allegation, that is when we can disclaim.
I don't need.
No. I guess Mr. Tonya was actually responding to me, saying that
I was responding to
Mommy J, that the reason why I was asking all those questions before you came up, Mommy J, was because I was also having a kind of feeling that that thanks him to us to come talk to us to pick our brain. So it was only putting a disclaimer to what I was talking about, that I was asking him to my questions.
We've been streaming for a while, and I'm sorry to do this, Bossman, on your page. I just can't hand it at some point. You just have to come and ask him, like, where do you stand? Because that's the feeling we're getting. I may be wrong, but I know perfect. I may be wrong to other people, but that's the feeling I'm getting. That's the feeling most people were getting while we were streaming. And this is, I don't see any picture on Mr. Tonya's page. If I see any picture, I could have been like, okay, I know this person. So I think, we are here to learn and to
rub minds.
To dialogue and rub minds. And when something is not clear, I need a, definite answer. That's why I said, I would love to know where he stands.
Because, your stand. You want to know his stance, okay?
Yeah, because when it comes to the royalty questions and Sam Larry, I felt a defensive mode. And when it comes to the people in the house, I felt targeting more. So that's why I felt, and I'm sure that people have this feeling. And if I could go back to what the lady from South Sudan said, I felt like we are on the same page. If the lady that just gave her last submission. So that's the reason why I came up. Thank you.
So, Mr. Tony, do you understand that? I guess people were having the notion that, this is like the way you gave a submission and all stuff like that. They believe that you are trying to be defensive to the other side. But I think you've been fair. Of course, if you're not being fair, of course, we are going to have a little bit of disagreement here. I guess you've been fair with your stand, but we just bringing up justice for Mohbad. What is your stand? Are you also what is your own take regarding to this justice for Mohbad? Are you also a justice seeker? Are you looking for justice for Mohbad? Are you on the side of the wife, or you're just neutral? What is your stand?
No, I'm not on anybody's side. I've told you my standpoint, where I'm coming from, which is that anything I say today, right, I always ensure I wear my legal hat on. You get my point? So I always try to cycle back to evidence, right, proof, and how to get it. And you've also asked me a pointed question that in my own view, in my own opinion, who do you think is either responsible for the plight of Mohbad? And even if I don't, how do I believe the police can get to the bottom of who plied Mohbad? And I've given you that answer. I didn't point fingers to any specific person. I said that as of today, given what is going on in the inquest and whatever, there's a lot more that the police needs to do. And until they get in the 15 people that were in the house on the night of the day Mohbad died, I don't think we're going to be any nearer the truth. I've said that.
All right, yes, you did.
Yeah.